Hello and welcome to the City Show. I'm your host, Dr. Tom Krieger. On this week's show, we'll have information on the Countryside YMCA's annual Gala fundraiser that's been transformed into a virtual event with a Kentucky Derby theme. Joining me right now is our City Manager, Scott Brunka, and he's here to talk about the many construction projects popping up around town as the weather turns warmer. Man, we're tore up, but that's good.
Yeah, this is the season. So I will say it's probably only going to get worse. There's going to be more construction on the horizon. Absolutely.
You know, we're at the 1 year mark of this COVID stuff. How are we doing?
Yeah, I think you know, from Lebanon's standpoint, I think we've done well overall. A lot of unknowns a year ago when things first started getting shut down. You mentioned the YMCA Gala. I remember that being the kind of that last event last year that we went to before things just stopped. And a year later, you know, I feel like we're definitely pulling out of it. You know, Lebanon as a community, I think we've come together very well this past year, and I think that speaks volumes to you know, the businesses, the nonprofit organizations, the residents, and kind of what we do here. You know, for Lebanon, I think our city council was very focused on helping our businesses through this, helping our nonprofit organizations through this time period. So they issued several rounds of COVID relief grants to really kind of provide financial support, especially for the small businesses who I think have been hit the hardest. If you look at our larger manufacturing operations, they've stayed pretty consistent and have done well. But the small businesses, it's been a little bit different story, and I know we've been very glad to help them financially as best we can.
You know, you drive through towns. In our town, I'm not seeing any empty buildings for rents, and that's a good sign as far as the pulse of our city, and that's a relief to see.
Yeah, we. You know, a lot of unknowns, and we obviously made some budget adjustments last year when this first started, concerned with what our revenue might look like. But our income tax revenue in 2020 was stable. You know, we basically hit our 2019 numbers. So obviously you'd like to see growth, but you know, given the conditions, we were very happy with just kind of being level between that time period. And like I said, early on, we made some budget expense reductions, really just making sure that we were prepared for what was ahead of us. So between having stable revenue throughout it and expense reductions that we received, and also you know, money that kind of came into the from the states to help local communities, we were able to grow our general fund cash reserves, and to some degree we're as a city and a community better off financially this year than we were this time last year. So it's something that you know, we're very proud to be able to say, and I think you know, like you said, we didn't have a large number of businesses just shut their doors, and that was our big fear. And when they've been able to get through it, and the city's done what we can do to help.
We had to put some things in place like the masks, the social distancing. Are we starting to peel back? Is the distancing starting to come three feet?
Yes.
I noticed some states, about 15, 18, have dropped the mask.
Yeah, I think you're starting to see some of the, you know, the state requirements in terms of social distancing being loosened up, which is good. You know, for Lebanon, you know, there's still a lot of the events last year outdoors that took place, and we were glad to see that. So definitely it feels like things are, you know, getting more back to normal, and you know, I think that's a good thing.
Now, one of the projects that's up and moving is the new firehouse that's being built on Broadway near the fairgrounds. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, that's a much needed facility improvement. We don't build a lot of new facilities very often here at the city, but this one was much needed. So, you know, it's a new 20,000 square foot fire station. That includes 4 bays for our fire apparatus, bunk rooms for our firefighter EMTs, and then obviously offices, lockers, you know, kind of the standard you know, fire department type operation. And the contractor's been able to make progress through the winter. You know, there's some days where weather didn't quite cooperate, but they've stayed on site and have continued to make progress through the winter and are still on schedule with this project. So it's been good.
What's the timeline? When do they see it opening up?
We are looking at opening up the fall of this year. So kind of right now, early October, mid-October is the target, and that's what we're shooting for. And now that the weather's turned, we're hoping to, we should be able to stay on track with that schedule.
Now, how big was the old firehouse as far as square feet?
I want to say the existing fire station on Silver Street was in that 10,000 square feet, 10 to 12,000 square feet. And we can't, part of our challenge is we can't fit all of our fire apparatus in the fire station we have right now. So yeah, this is, you can kind of see a visual of what the building's going to look like. Wow, our old fire station, so that was built in the 1950s as a laundromat. The city acquired it in the 1980s for our fire station and renovated it. But I like to tell folks in the 1980s, we were a volunteer fire operation. We didn't have people spending the night at the fire station. We were not a 24/7 operation. So a lot has changed in our fire EMS service delivery, and this facility, this new building, is going to allow us to really meet the needs of the community.
So you're going to roll back in a time machine and go back to the old place being a laundromat again?
No,
the
actually.
Firehouse chili? What ideas do you have for the old place?
So the city's entered into a development agreement to essentially sell that building to the Lebanon Brewing Company, and they are going to convert it into a microbrewery and a restaurant. So they were looking and pursuing that project.
Are they going to keep the firehouse theme?
Oh, they love it. Yes, the bay doors and everything fits perfectly into what they're looking to accomplish. And they had been pursuing doing this project on North Broadway Avenue, just north of our current development. And Nathan Ridgely, local business owners, kind of leading the charge. And as we started talking to them and looking at options, everybody kind of got excited to take that project that they were looking at doing on North Broadway and make it work and make it happen down at our existing fire station. Once we move out, obviously we've got to move out and get into the new building. So City Council's approved a development agreement with him, and that's the direction that we're going with our existing fire station once we're out of there.
Wow. Now, just a little south of the new firehouse, there's the 511 North Broadway development, and we're starting to see some buildings come out of the ground there. Can you tell us what's going on there?
Yeah, so that's about an $18 million investment, mixed-use development. So this is property that the city used to own. It was our old public works complex years ago. We had obviously tore down the buildings and really had been marketing it for development. We wanted to see that property transition back into the private sector. So 511 North Broadway, what you're seeing, that's the footers for the townhomes. So it's going to consist of townhomes, it's going to consist of apartments, and then two kind of commercial buildings along North Broadway, which will house at least 2 restaurants. So it's going to be an exciting project that really extends downtown Lebanon north. I think that's the goal of this project.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Catch a Fire Pizza is one of the tenants who has committed to the project. They're currently operating in Blue Ash and then at Mad Tree Brewery down in Oakley. So this will be their 3rd location. They're actually kind of a Lebanon-based couple that has ties to the community, and are super excited to bring them up here.
So how many housing units are
There's
they
about
gonna
a
have?
total, about 110 units total between the townhomes and the apartments. For a project that's kind of within our downtown area, it's a pretty rare opportunity to add that many residential units within our downtown.
And the sidewalks are already going up there, and it's all set?
Yeah,
so.
and all of this, it was a recommendation of our downtown master plan. So several years ago, we went through a planning process with our downtown, and one of the recommendations and focus areas is to add new residential options within the walkable area of your downtown. I can tell you, I get calls all the time from people looking for property, houses downtown. They want to live in downtown Lebanon. So this was an opportunity to provide some new opportunities for folks to do that, take advantage of our great downtown, and really add some economic activity into our community. People who live downtown typically are going to spend money downtown, whether it's the restaurants, the shops. So it definitely benefits everybody.
We're seeing a shift where people just don't want to get in their car and drive. They want to be in one spot. I think that's kind of neat. What percentage are townhomes for sale And what percentage is the rentable properties?
Sure. So on the North Broadway, that's all rental. So
Okay.
the townhomes and the apartment buildings are rental. The rates range from about $1,100 a month up to $1,600 a month. So that's kind of the market
2-3
rate.
bedroom?
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
they're single, 2-3 bedroom.
Okay.
So it's a good mix of products. We do have another townhome project that should be getting started shortly. That will be for sale townhomes, and we're super excited about that.
Wow. So are they selling them already?
Not yet. So the townhomes that are for sale, no. We just entered into an agreement with High Point Custom Homes to do, I think it's about 16 to 18 townhomes on North Mechanic Street.
Yeah.
So this is property within kind of the Pleasant Square neighborhood that the city owns. And again, basically 1 block east of Broadway, walkable distance for downtown. High Point Custom Homes, they actually were the Homerama site in 2019 with their Highlands at Heritage Hill development. So first class builder, and they're looking at constructing townhomes that will be for sale.
Now you mentioned Firehouse Pizza.
Catch a Fire Pizza.
Catch a Fire
yes,
Pizza.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. What other retail
So
places are going in there?
He is still pursuing tenants for the second building. So he's got several options, and I know he's been hitting the pavement pretty hard. But in terms of actually executing the lease, Catch a Fire Pizza has occupied the first one, and they're going to have a party room. They're going to have a great outdoor patio. So it's really going to be a kind of casual dine-in type full-service restaurant.
Wow, we're growing and good leadership. Speaking of new houses, there's also a large project underway on, I see some buildings in Neil Armstrong Way. Can you tell us what's going on there? That's the Traditions of Lebanon. And is that a senior center?
It is. It is. So that's another thing that we've gotten a lot of feedback from the community. We need senior housing options within our city limits. So the Traditions of Lebanon is a project that they've really made great progress from when they started to where they're at now. But it's a group out of Indianapolis that's doing the project, and they've got similar type projects throughout Southwest Ohio. But it's going to be a mix of independent living units, and then there's also an assisted living facility. So really kind of that full spectrum of care and options for our residents to to move into. I think it's a total of about 140 units between what's in the assisted living facility and the independent living units.
Is it kind of like Otterbein?
It's kind of like Otterbein. They have a little bit different business model. But
and they're managing the whole place, so you're not. Do you buy those facilities, or you rent them, or?
I think no, you don't buy them. So I think it's kind of you're paying a monthly rent, but it is, I know, from a business model a little bit different than Otterbein. We're excited to have this in our community, in our town, and it's something that. Within the assisted living facility, there's a dedicated memory care unit, so they have some specialized services that I think are going to be great for our community.
So this is primarily assisted. This isn't like a over 55 community, and then transition into that.
I think it's probably a little bit later stage in life. I think the feedback I've gotten is they are kind of doing pre-sales now, so they're very excited. They took a hard look at the Lebanon market before they committed to the project. It's a $30+ million investment, but they felt like as we were talking before, we're all getting older, right? So they felt confident in the market.
Now I thought they weren't for sale.
No, they're kind of pre-leasing, I should say. And
what's the price on that? Any idea?
I don't know. That's a great question. I'm not sure kind of what the range of options are.
Is it too early for people to be looking for information on that?
No,
do they go to Traditions of Lebanon?
Traditions of Lebanon. I think there's also some signage on the construction site that provides information. So it's never too early. And I know they've hired their kind of on-site director. So she's getting integrated in the communities. Joined the Lebanon Chamber of Commerce, so they're definitely getting ready to be fully present here in Lebanon.
Okay. What else you got on the drawing board? You always got something going on, so we got a lot in the works.
I mean, we talked a lot about the residential market, and it's extremely strong right now in Lebanon and all of Warren County. you know, we've got some good industrial building expansions. Most folks don't really see that because it's down in our industrial park, but we have several expansions. First National Bank just broke ground on their new corporate office that's on East Main Street across from Bob Evans. So that building is going to be a nice addition. So a lot of private construction happening. We looked at, you know, what the private investment dollars were last year compared to 2019, and again, last year we're talking a COVID year, and it was more than double. So I think what you're seeing translates into dollars when you look at all the construction activity.
I remember when President Bush was out here, and he made the joke to Amy Brewer. When are you gonna fix them potholes?
Right.
New roads, you're fixing potholes.
So so
it's inconvenient, but yet it's necessary.
It's you know, we have consistently, really going back to kind of 2018, 2019, the city has consistently been investing over $5 million a year in road infrastructure, and that's, you know, road paving, road you know, resurfacing. You know, and that's considerably more than, you know, what we were doing before. So we've kind of gone from $3.5 million a year road program to over $5 million a year. And a lot of that's the income tax credit reduction that was enacted, where the city made the commitment that all of that revenue would get funneled into our road program. And that's what we've been doing.
Nice.
So I tell folks it is going to take a little bit of time. You know, we're not going to be able to get out there and fix every road all at once. It took us a long time to kind of get to this situation with our road conditions, but I would definitely say we're making progress, and we will continue to kind of spend at that level and get the roads fixed.
Well, speaking of roads, the Summit Street, that's already underway.
Right.
What other streets are you looking at besides that?
Okay, so this year, Summit Street, construction's underway right now. This year, our main road reconstruction program projects are New Street reconstruction, kind of in front of the post office there. Sycamore Street, just outside of this building, is on our program. Wright Avenue is another one that's long overdue. And then our paving program between our, you know, our resurfacing and concrete work, that's over $2 million just in the more traditional, you know, surface paving type projects. So we don't have any major thoroughfares that, you know, New Street, I think obviously for folks that are, you know, in that neighborhood or wanting to get to the post office, there's going to be some inconvenience there, but you know, nothing like Monroe Road or, you know, from a traffic volume standpoint, nothing that.
Now, are you getting grants for this stuff too, or
is
this?
Yeah, so the Summit Street project is partially grant funded. New Street this year will be partially grant funded. So grants are available typically to help support the road reconstruction projects. Just your annual paving program, there's no grant funding for that, so that's 100% city funded.
Remember Main Street? I don't know if you were here.
Yes, yeah,
but
it was.
Remember, it was a hump because they repaved it
Yep.
so many times, and then when they talked about, oh no, we're going to make this and we're going to make it a little wide, and just all the flack that people are like, we're going to lose 2 feet on our property line. But can you imagine if we kept repaving that? Cars would be rolled. So how do you make the decision? Because you got a road, and there are probably some people out there going, do they really got to make a new road? Can't they just repave it? At what point is repaving like, man, we can't repave this?
So we do, you know, we do a pavement condition rating index. So, you know, our engineers evaluate numerically the condition of all of our roads from a pavement index standpoint. But part of it is, it's a combination of factors. One, if it has that steep crown, typically on those streets there's inadequate storm sewer drainage as well. So that's a trigger for us to look at, okay, we need to do a full reconstruction. If it has a failing pavement base, you know, just to pave over, put a layer of asphalt on top of pavement base that's crumbling, you're just throwing money away. So that's a trigger for us to look at full reconstruction. And then the other big thing that we try to coordinate is, you know, our utility replacement program. So I mean, if you go out Summit Street right now, you'll see that road's completely tore up. All we've really done so far is just water, sewer, you know, Duke Energy's in the gas main. But if you start cutting the pavement with all of the, you know, utility replacements, you really don't have much left when it's all done. So we'll do a full reconstruction in that situation.
That makes sense, doing it when you do the street.
Yeah.
Get it all done.
Yes.
So recycling is so big. Okay. Do they recycle the concrete, do they bust that up and use it somehow, or do they just?
Some of the asphalt plants will take the asphalt. So a lot of times if you're grinding the asphalt and it's kind of the clean asphalt grindings, the asphalt plants will take that and reuse it. If it gets contaminated in some manner, if dirt gets mixed in there, that gets tough to do. But yeah, they will reuse the material if they can. So
is this becoming a destination city for people who love biking? Because what you've done, the city's done with the bike trails, the networking in the last couple of years, and with Casey Burdick too, and what she's doing, and she's always involved in something.
Yes.
Is this like a hot spot as far as bikes? And what are we looking to do with the bike trail?
Yeah, bike trails, anytime we do a park survey, talk to our residents about what type of features they like, trails is always high up on the list. Folks love the trails. So, we've been really focused on extending our bike trail system. The fact that Lebanon is connected to the Little Miami Trail is huge. And it is an economic driver where folks coming on, are on the Little Miami Trail, they'll go ahead and, bike up into Lebanon, get some food, whatever. I think to some degree we're trying to position ourselves in that manner, but we also want to make sure that we're connecting our neighborhoods and that our residents have access to trails. But Mason is this year connecting to our trail system down off of Kingsview Drive, so that's going to make it more of a regional trail. And construction has started on the trail extension to the north from our downtown, so that is going to allow folks that live kind of up on Miller Road along Broadway Avenue. That's going to allow them to jump on a bike trail and get to downtown Lebanon and enjoy what we have to do, or continue all the way down to the Little Miami Trail.
Now, is that all city funding for the trails?
So when it comes to trails, those are always grant funded. So any significant trail or any significant parks project, that really is dependent on us getting a grant to support it. So we've been successful with that. But that's we're very reliant on those grants to do those type of improvements.
Another exciting thing you guys did last year was the designated outdoor refreshment area.
Right.
DORA,
right.
What's the plan for that? Is that going to continue, or is that just a COVID thing?
No, that's definitely going to continue. It's really, kind of permanently in place unless the city were to decide to remove it. The timing last year, we didn't anticipate this, but it really went into effect in the spring, right when bars and restaurants got shut down. So we quickly kind of pivoted and created these outdoor dining areas on Mulberry Street. Provided tables and chairs where these restaurants could continue to have some business activity. So it really came, it was very, very effective, I think, last year. And we're looking forward to a more normal year this year with it. But it's really an opportunity for folks who, want to enjoy a drink, to purchase it at one of our businesses within the Dora District, which is essentially our downtown area. If you kind of think of downtown Lebanon, that's the Dora District. You can purchase a beverage at, one of the restaurants or bars. Have them pour it in a specific special Dora cup, which you're then allowed to take outside within the sidewalk area and enjoy.
I'm smiling because there's always a criminal element out there with the counterfeit
cups.
And, how do you police that? But that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
We covered a lot of stuff today.
We did.
You're a busy guy. So much appreciate you always making time for the city show and updating folks on what's going on. Is there anything that we missed that you wanted to share?
No, the one thing I do want to touch on, so we are in the process of updating our comprehensive plan. And we only do this once every 10 to 12 years. So I encourage folks to go on. We have an Envision Lebanon website. There's information on the city website. There's ways for you to tell us how we're doing. There's ways for you to kind of communicate and give us your opinion on what you think is important for Lebanon, and would love to see the community do that. We've, we're kind of about halfway through this process, but it's only going to be as successful as the input we get from folks. So encourage people to take advantage and be a part of this process.
That's awesome. Appreciate your leadership, Scott. You're doing a great job. Stay tuned. We'll be right back to hear about the new plans for the Countryside YMCA Gala right after this break.
Break your fast food habit at Kelly's Meats and Deli at 1001 West Main Street in Lebanon. Stop in for a quick lunch featuring made-to-order sandwiches, tasty sides, and mouth-watering daily specials. For dinner, Kelly's offers fresh-cut steaks, chops, and seafood, plus a variety of prepared dishes that only need to be reheated. You'll also find a large selection of high-quality wine and beer that can make any meal a special event. Kelly's Meats and Deli open 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, now open for dinner Saturdays 6 to 9 p.m. And remember, we cater too.
When it comes to healthcare, the most common question I get is, are you on our insurance? Well, we're probably not because we don't accept insurance, but our prices are extremely fair and you're going to get great care. So if your plan is to get great care, we are your plan. We offer chiropractic, fitness programs, massage, and clinical nutrition. So if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, call our office, schedule for a free consultation so we can discuss any question you have and get you well.
Call now to schedule your free initial consultation.
Since 1954, Hardy's Interiors has been providing quality furnishings for homes in and around Lebanon, Ohio. Today, you'll still find quality antique and vintage furniture along with new made-in-America furniture of all styles. At Hardy's, you can create a mix of furniture and accessories that truly reflects your personality, all made to last a lifetime. Designers are welcome and so are you. Hardy's Interiors at 208.5 Wright Avenue or online at hardysinteriors.com.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
Welcome back to the City Show. Anita Pelletier and Matt Bruns from the Countryside YMCA are back with us today to talk about how agile you guys are. And you had to flip this thing. You had it all set up, and then you had a change. Was it because of the guidelines being changed, or are you just thinking safety for all the people and just trying to represent what should be represented out there? What was the reason for the change?
Yeah, so usually we have the Gala, which was what we were here talking about last time, and that was going to be our 15th one, so we were excited to do that, but yeah, we were still looking at COVID numbers and you know, just being a pillar of healthy living in the community, we thought, hey, this might not be the right time to have 300 some people gathered in the same space, even though we were making precautions, make sure everything could be spread out. We just decided it probably wasn't going to be the best move at that time. So we have moved that event to next year, so it'll pick back up in person next year. We'll have our 15th annual gala next year. Okay. But in the meantime, we have a Thurby planned for April 29th this year.
So let me back up a little bit. Yeah, so that Warren County Board of Health, they weren't putting pressure on you and complying. It was, you were just trying to stay in front of it.
Correct.
On that call?
Yes, yes. Just trying to stay in front of it. Just, yeah, knowing that, like I said, 300 people gathering when we started planning for this, which was, Anita, what was that, back in September probably? We start planning for it. So you plan on it and you hope that things are going to work out. But with the COVID pandemic, it did not. So we made adjustments at the beginning of January and said, let's not have it in person. But the venue we were having it at gave us plenty of space, and we were going to be able to do it, but just didn't think it was going to be the right call at that time.
Okay. And now the new gala's got a new theme and some changes. You mentioned the Thurby. Can you tell us about the Thurby and how that works? And
Anita, you want that one, or you want me to get it?
You can go ahead.
So the Thurby is something that came to our attention once we were explaining to a few leaders at the Y, board members and different people, hey, we're going to have to, you know, make the tough call and cancel the gala for this year. Someone had mentioned, oh, we did one of these Thurbys online before, and you know, you think of an online event and how neat can a virtual event really be, and this person that was helping us explain it was, or explaining it to me, was like pleasantly surprised with how neat it was. She's like, oh, this was a neat hour, it was a fun hour. She's like, my husband and I sat there, had a good time with it. So she connected me with a person that had done this before. But the Thurby, people around Louisville probably know this, but it's the Thursday before the Kentucky Derby. Okay. So the Thurby originated from that, and people down there know of this. But we are having a virtual event this Thurby, which is April 29th, the Thursday before the Kentucky Derby. And it's going to be from 6:30 to 7:30. It's going to have a horse racing theme to the entire evening, but it'll be great. It's we've got some things lined up where I get excited as we start getting through this.
That.
So
yeah,
it's good. It's
You're the right guy for this
It's coming
job.
along well. I like it. You know, Anita puts stuff on my desk every once in a while, and I'm like, oh man, this is really taking shape. This is great. So it's something new for us. Like the Gala was going to be new for me, being new to Countryside YMCA, but the Thurby is new to all of us. Our committee that's helping us put this together, our sponsors, people we're going to try and get registered for the event, everybody. It's going to be new for everybody. So we're just trying to get the awareness out there as much as we can and explain it. But yeah, it's coming together nicely. As we get more pieces put together, we're like, boy, this is going to be fun. So
is this separate from the Gala, or is this something
totally separate from the Gala? So the Gala will be canceled this year, not doing it, and we're going to do this in its place, but it'll be a 1-hour virtual event. It will be a fundraiser event. There are pieces that we will carry over from the Gala, like Anita's doing a great job in the committee on our auction. So we usually do an auction as part of our fundraiser for the Gala. So people that were able to contribute baskets and different auction items, we're still going to be able to utilize those. We're just going to utilize them as part of our online virtual event instead.
Okay. And what about the races? You mentioned something about races, and you mentioned there's a gaming facility that has helped design this. So it sounds like there might be some wagers involved, since there's a gaming facility.
So there will be some wagers with play money, of course. But we are going to make it exciting with we're going to be able to keep track of at the end of 3 races. There'll be 3 races that it's Meet Max Games is an online gaming system that does a virtual race, and there's 8 horses. These same 8 horses are going to run 3 different times, and there'll be a little bit of time in between. But when people register for the event, obviously they're helping the Y. They're helping us fundraise for our outreach programs and stuff. But the $25 that it costs to be part of that evening, it's basically just like a big Zoom call. You pay $25, you'll get the code, and you'll get some instructions about the evening to make sure it's clear for you and what you're doing. But then people will log in that evening, and we're going to talk a few things. We got a special guest. We have a mixologist there to mix up a drink. People can make it at home and do different things. We've got Chris, our CEO, is going to talk briefly about what the Y does, why we have a fundraiser, and we've got a quick video to show some things.
You said something, and I want to get Anita involved here. What's the drink for the Derby? The julep? The mint?
So the mint julep is the traditional Kentucky Derby drink. We are going to change it up a little bit. We've got a vodka cooler that will be one of our sponsors is going to help make that, and they're a mixologist that can come in, and we'll have those ingredients along with the code, so people that register will have all that information. And then, as you mentioned, there's Meet Max Games is providing a gaming service for us in the middle of it. So people register, they'll get, they'll get $50 of play money, so to speak, for this entertainment piece in the middle, and they can wager on these 3 horses. They can support a horse. So we've got 8 horses, and we've got different people to kind of own these horses. So we've got the mayor is going to have a horse. We've got each of the 3 service clubs in town. The president of those service clubs is going to be a horse owner. Chris
so is that,
Johnson,
is that a higher sponsorship then for the?
It's actually not even affiliated with our sponsorship. So we have sponsorships for the race, but we just wanted to get people that community members would know. So if they get registered, they can be like, oh, I want to help, Linda's horse, or I want to help Rotary, or I want to help Kiwanis, and Sheriff Sims has a horse. So it's great. We've got 8 different horses and owners for those horses, so people can get behind it. But with this play money, you can help train that horse, so give it a better advantage to win. Now it's all still a random race, but the more things that happen to it, they can help a horse, or you can actually sabotage another horse.
Nice.
So it's just some fun pieces that go along with the evening like that, and then people can actually pick which horses they think will win.
Did you know he was so diabolical? Yeah. So have you crafted some of this stuff and made it a little bit more interesting, or?
I'm literally just kind of using someone else's blueprint. I'd like to say yes, I am that creative, but no, it's been fun. It's been fun working with Anita on this, because like I said, it's new for the Y, new to try something virtual, but in these days of the times we're in, it's kind of, hey, let's challenge ourselves, and we still have these programs that need funded. So let's go out and put our best effort at this and see what can happen. Like I said, each week as things progress and move along, it becomes a little more exciting. So I'm like, oh, this is going to be fun.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, you have the right attitude. I mean, we're going through this stuff, and it could be like, really, we're still in this? Instead, it's like, well, let's do this. And get through it and have fun. And speaking of getting through it, what's happening at the YMCA right now? I understand I saw their parking lot was really full. They're offering the vaccinations. Has that been a busy event?
It was received very well. There were a lot of people that came Monday, right? It was Monday or Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Okay.
So they came Tuesday, and they used the lower parking lot where the Premier Health entrance and the entrance to our lower gym and swimming pool are. And it was set up in our gym, had a nice setup so we could, we freed up some programs and stuff that happened, but we were able to use the gym and really spread people out in there. But yeah, we had quite a few people coming throughout the day. I don't know the exact number, but the parking lot was full down there, which was great.
Are we still focused on priorities as far as if you have to be over a certain age still, or can anybody come and get the vaccine now? Any idea how they're...
I'm not real sure.
Okay.
I don't know who was scheduled for it. I know at the end when they still had some left, they were allowing anybody at that time, because we had some staff people that work in child care and different things that were able to go down there and do that. So it was advantageous for that as well. But yeah, it's a great thing. Like I said, the Y being such a pillar of healthy living in the community, to be able to tie in with something like this and have Premier Health be there, right there, and be a partner of ours and be able to do that was it was a neat thing to do and be able to be a part of.
Is that going to be an ongoing thing now?
I know we are doing it again. There's another day next week that's slated, so we will do it. I'm guessing as long as we can keep clearing some space and getting some people in there that need it, we'll continue to do it, I'm sure.
And the Y's continue to do their before and after school programs. Has that been disrupted at all because of the pandemic? Not really sure on that?
So. I mean, I taught summer camp this past summer. They just had limited amount of students in our pottery class, but definitely ran all summer, and they're gearing up for this summer camp too as well. So,
do you know what the ages are for the programs at the Y for the kids?
Oh, they start from as early as 6 months, 9 months in like swim classes and gymnastics, so really early.
Okay, so we're back to pretty much all the regular programs for the kids. Basketball and things like that.
Yeah,
Are they back? Good.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to get to that point where we're having most of the offerings are back, so which means we have enough people participating in those programs to have them happen. So yeah, it's good to be able to see that happening and those offerings being utilized again.
I'm looking forward to just being bored.
Yeah,
like things are back to normalcy. I
exactly.
mean, whoever thought we'd be craving normalcy?
True.
Now, how can parents get more information on the hours and the cost on these things if they're interested in coming in and utilizing the services at the Y? Is there a number?
There's definitely the website. You could definitely go to the website and also call our number, which is the 932-1424 number.
Okay.
But definitely call or use the website. And they have all kinds of the summer program for summer camp is on there, and then the classes are definitely you can look up on the search menu for specific classes.
Now, is that a spring hat, or is that, obviously that's for promoting?
This is the derby hat, and I believe we are actually having a derby hat competition.
I would hope so.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're hopefully getting participants at home involved to send some pictures and hopefully even put them on our Facebook page, things like that, just to kind of get the excitement going.
So what's your hope as far as people who tune in for this virtual event? Typically, you'd have, 300 people at the Gala?
So here's something that's kind of an opportunity that normally isn't there. The Gala would normally be, 300, 350 people, and that's about all the space is going to allow for people to really be able to spread out and enjoy the evening. This, we can go up to about 1,000 people. So we actually have the opportunity to get more people involved with an event. It'll be virtual, but we can go up to, I think about 1,000 people we can get registered for this. And obviously the registration cost is different. There's no dinner included. We aren't going to have a sit down, and there's different things that happen at the Gala that we won't be having at this event. So the registration for this event is $25. We set a price point that we hoped, we still raise some funds with, but at the same time make it affordable so everybody can, if there's a household of 4, they can, register, and all 4 of them get around the computer and have fun with it and enjoy an hour.
In the auction, how does that work? Is that something that's run maybe a day before they can see the items, or is it just for an hour?
Actually, the silent auction is going to be up and live about a week and a half prior. Our hopes are to get the community involved so that they can go onto the website, the Give Smart, YMCA Thurby Give Smart, and just look at the items and kind of see if they want to bid on one, and if they win, they could come and pick it up at the YMCA.
Do they have any exercise pieces that they're going to auction? Some of the old cardio pieces. I saw the other day that they're renting them I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah,
was that Zach's idea?
I think it was. He was the one that announced that it was happening. But yeah, another way of just trying to think outside the box. What are people looking for right now? Whether it's to work out in their homes so they feel safer, and we can rent a piece of equipment to them and take it to their house and different things. But Anita, there are a couple pieces in the auction, right? That are a couple new cardio pieces.
Yeah, there's a cardio piece in there. Yep.
Okay. And where do you go online to see that so you can put a bid in?
So when the website is the ymcatherby.givesmart.com, and that will allow you to go in and view and bid on items and also register for the Thurby, the $25 registration fee. So once you get into there, there'll be pictures of individual items that we have collected, baskets, and it will have like a description of everything that's in that basket so that you can kind of see. And then it's pretty much a mobile bidding from there.
Okay. Are you looking for sponsors to offer items that can be auctioned off too, or how does that work? Is it all YMCA stuff, or do you have people coming in and
we have our community has been wonderful and helping, and they're still donating items to the auction. So, I mean, we're very lucky to be able to be in a community that does that. So
yeah, Anita and the committee have done a great job. There's, I mean, there's trips on there. There's people that have donated a vacation home. There's a lot of different things on there. A lot of local community throughout Warren County that have contributed and just, whether it's a gift card and different thing promoting their own place, but at the same time it's a, $100, $200, $300 value of some of these gift baskets. So yeah, it should be pretty neat.
That's fun, yeah. And the Thurby date is, obviously it's a Thursday, but
April 29th.
That's the Thursday before the Derby.
Correct, yep. And then this event will be 6:30 to 7:30, and as Anita mentioned, people can get registered now. They'll be able to see the auction items a little closer to, I think, a week or two out. All the auction items will be on there, and then the auction kind of concludes at the end of our event.
Okay.
So at 7:30 that evening, the silent auction will be over. Part of our live event is at the very end, we will have about 2 or 3 items that we are going to auction live during the virtual event. So that's kind of how we'll conclude the evening. And then at 7:30, whoever's got the highest bid on those auction items will win those auction items too. So fun way to kind of wrap it all up.
So it wraps up at 7:30. It starts
at
6:30.
6:30.
Yep.
Okay. Boy, that's a lot to pack in.
Yeah, it'll be an exciting hour.
Action packed.
It'll be an exciting hour. We're looking forward to it.
Anything else we need to know about the YMCA, or how about how to contribute to this event?
Sure. Actually, I mean, Anita's in charge of a lot of the auction items and putting those things together. I'm kind of championing, but with the whole committee and Anita, we're working on sponsorships, and we have LCMB as a presenting sponsor of our Thurby, so we appreciate them. We've got Otterbein, GMI, and Antioch Church are sponsoring the 3 races, and then we have some other sponsors that are coming along to help the event be successful as well. So.
Well, way to pivot. Way to get this together. You guys are amazing.
Thank you. It's been fun. We're looking forward to it. Should be a neat evening.
I'm looking forward to things get normal as we come out of this, but I applaud what you guys have done. It sounds like it's going to be a real fun event and probably get more people exposed to this whole fundraiser that you're doing.
It's kind of a silver lining, we think, that instead of 300 and some involved at a gala, we can get quite a few more involved, even though it's online, but we have that opportunity to get more people involved, so you are absolutely correct.
Best wishes with that.
Well,
thank you.
Thanks for being here.
We appreciate it.
We're going to take a break. We'll be back to wrap up the show right after the break.
The vaping industry spends millions marketing their products to young people. They think they can fool you with the flavors and packaging, but they don't tell you about the toxic and addictive chemicals inside. To learn more, visit sapcwarrencounty.org.
You told me not to talk to strangers. You told me not to cross the street without looking both ways.
You told me not to touch the stove.
You told me not to do drugs.
You told me not to drink and drive.
You gave me so many messages about how to stay safe. Why didn't you keep me safe by properly storing your gun?
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes, and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like, that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries, or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool. To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
Yeah, we have a few events coming up over the next several weeks we'd like to share with you on our community calendar. The Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce will be holding their annual Let's Lebanon Business Showcase on Saturday, April 10th from 8:30 to 1 p.m. in the Event Center on the Warren County Fairgrounds. Come and get acquainted with a host of local businesses, explore job opportunities, and network with the people that keep business running in Lebanon. Admission is free and safety guidelines will be posted on the Chamber website prior to the event. Not a Chamber member? If you're interested in highlighting your business at Let's Lebanon, contact the Chamber by April 1st at 513-932-1100 and your booth rental can be applied to your Chamber membership. While you're at Let's Lebanon, don't miss the opportunity to enjoy the Lebanon Rotary Club's annual Pancake Breakfast, which will be underway at 8 a.m. at the Fairgrounds Event Center. Your support of the Pancake Breakfast helps the Rotary Club continue with their many charitable efforts throughout Lebanon and Warren County. Have you tried your hand at Nature Bingo yet? Well, you can by picking up a bingo card at Lebanon City Hall at 50 South Broadway and then heading up to Miller Ecological Park. As you take a refreshing walk around the park, you can look for items on your card and see if you can bet bingo. If you do, take the card back to City Hall and then $1 will be donated to the Lebanon Garden Club's annual butterfly release. Casey Burdick, Lebanon's Natural Resources Coordinator, is looking for a few volunteers to help spruce up our bike trails on Saturday, March 27th from 10 a.m. to noon. Call her at 513-228-3204 or send her an email at cburdick@lebanonohio.gov to get assisted, or rather assigned to a trail section to work on. Well, that's our show for this week. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with a new show in early April. Until then, take care and be safe.